Hey, what's up everyone, this is Kay. Since Rosaria is out, I thought why not test out and showcase my current physical DPS build for her. There's obvious room for improvement, but I'm quite satisfied with what I have so far. She's nowhere near the destructive numbers a physical DPS Razor can dish out per hit, but Rosaria is faster and can use her charge to hit for decent numbers. Her weapon is the Crescent Pike for high attack and physical damage. Now, the main two spears is this or the Dragon Spine, but I hear the Pike is overall better, and I had already refined it to 3, so I'm sticking with this. Artifacts, I'm using the 2-piece Bloodstained and Gladiator. Now, 4-piece Glad is a bit better, but it's hard to farm, especially for a good crit rate or damage substats, so I'm forced to use this set, which is still pretty good in my opinion. As with all DPS, you want attack percentage for your sands. For Goblet, it's the bonus type according to the character, in this case physical damage. This Goblet is actually pretty good with 16% attack and 15% crit damage. And finally, for the headpiece, is the standard crit rate or crit damage depending on your overall stats, but with her physical damage weapon, it's most likely crit rate. For stats, crit rate is basically at 50%. Reason why this is lower is because she can increase her crit rate up to 60%, so I focus more so on crit damage. 110% crit damage is, in my opinion, pretty good with just pure substats added. Obviously, the more the better, but this is what I'm working with. As for additional stats, her physical bonus is at 114% thanks to her spear and goblet artifact. Now, I do have Rosaria at C1, which increases her damage and speed when you crit, which is majority of the time because she is going to crit like crazy, as she is a crit unit who strikes very fast with multiple hits. I would actually recommend everyone to get her at least at C1 for the small boost if you're building her as a DPS. Of course, C6 is the best, but it's not realistic for free-to-plays or fish. As a physical DPS, her normal attack must be the priority for leveling. Pretty self-explanatory as to why. The talent has 7 fast strikes and a good charge attack that can be cancelled with jump or dash. You should also level her skill as well, because this ability will be used quite often as an attack. You're constantly going to be using these two talents. First off, her skill has a very short cooldown and is used to increase her crit rate as mentioned before. The boost will last for 5 seconds, so downtime for her skill is only 1 second, so very low, which is why it'll be constantly used as an attack to keep her crit rate high. Now keep this in mind, just because you're using her skill does not mean she's gonna get a boost in crit rate every single time. She has to strike the enemy from behind, and sometimes you can miss even on smaller enemies. Moving on to her burst, it's more of a bonus. Obviously don't neglect it, but it takes the lowest priority. But if you're building her as a sub Cryo DPS, then yes, focus on this first, since it'll go with her support skill very well. For team builds, I usually have Fischl in order to trigger Superconduct, which will increase Rosaria's physical damage for a few seconds. Beidou is another good character to trigger these reactions, since her burst can deal damage without her being out. Having another Cryo will increase crit rate even further for more consistency. There's lots of sub DPS and supports that can inflict continuous Cryo, like Gan Yu's burst, Kaya, Chi-Chi, Chongyun, and it's best to have a Hydro support as well. I'm using Barbara for freeze reactions, which is amazing for stalling enemies or just to create some breathing room on high pressure battles like Abyss 12. I would actually recommend Qingshu, since he's more sub DPS and can also heal a bit while offering a little bit protection for Rosaria, but I needed a strong healer, which is why I'm using Barbara instead. With a physical DPS Rosaria and a build that centers around Superconduct to increase physical damage, I estimated around her hitting 20k, approaching 30,000 at times, depending on the amount of crits going through on a full normal combo, which shouldn't be much of a problem since there are lots of ways to increase crit rate. 30k damage on a full combo may not sound like much, but keep in mind, a full combo for Rosaria takes roughly 4 seconds to complete, so every 4 seconds, you're dealing high damage. My Rosaria isn't complete yet. With a maxed out weapon, max talents, and character levels, Rosaria can deal a lot damage in a short time frame. Again, I highly recommend you getting her to C1 for the increased speed and damage, more so for the speed, because I found that there's no delay when ending a combo and starting a completely new one. It just flows very fast to the point where I don't have to waste time with jump or dash cancel. Overall, I think you'll get the most out of a physical DPS Rosaria. She's a fast attacker with very little downtime on skills. I'm having a lot of fun using her, but comment down below to let me know how you're liking this character. I seriously want to have her at max constellation, but with Zhongli's supposed return, I have to save my gems. Well, thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you liked the video, and subscribe to my channel for future Genshin Impact videos. Good luck on your summons, everyone. Till next time.